Got it. Check.
Yeah, I'm a fact finder, and I'll remind you, believe when I say I researched this all day, but we a two-sided pod. You need to rebut all I say with all of your ragings. Tell me why I've got red hair and ginger pubes. Tell me why you bitch and moan, it's all you do. Now it's time to get drunk and go on stereo. That's the two-sided way. That's the two-sided way.
Somehow it makes everything better.
It really just started off with a bang. I don't know, man. I'm trying to be pleasant here. Whatever.
Where's your beautiful mug?
No, I don't want to show it. I don't want to show it. I don't want to show it. Okay. I'll show it. What's up, man?
The big, the bold, the beautiful. My boy, Pete.
I'm saying, if this beard and this ego got any bigger, we couldn't fit it through the front door. I mean, we could, but we wouldn't want it. Because people have to pay to see it and experience it. That's number one.
That's right.
Beard ego school 101, bro. People got to pay to experience the company of your beard and your stuff.
Everybody needs the wonder of the beard, but they got to pay.
Yeah, everybody got to. Yeah, they got to pay. Let's do a shot right now because I just had this pour and I have never had one sitting here with you in front of me and this in front of me this long, and I don't feel comfortable. It's burning a hole in my liver.
I have one here too. Let's get rid of these.
Cheers.
I don't like looking at it anymore. Cheers.
Ew. 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 Ew.
Hello, Chaser, my old friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that helps. That helps.
Yeah. Yeah. So technically, from a technical standpoint, we're doing really, really good now. At this point, if you don't touch anything, you don't look at anything, don't breathe on a button. So help me, if you play a sound effect, your mic goes out, and then your camera, all of a sudden, it's like fucking the chick comes out of the well. Like, oh, you watch this video, like it. The grudge. There it is. Ooh, that was a tough one.
There it is.
Purge. Anyway, I'm just.
It had an E at the end.
Yeah, it had an urge.
Urge.
I don't know how hooked on phonics works for you, but I look at the letters. I don't do the sound effects. Public school education strikes again.
I'm gonna say, yeah, our production value is technically is okay. Our talent right now could be wanting, but our production, we're doing all right.
The talent is wanting. I know you have been shopping around for different talent. I've been shopping around for different hosts. It's funny that the two people we're both thinking about hiring are going to get together and take our show from us and be like, you know what, we can do this way better than this piece of shit. Damn it. Hoisted by my own petard.
That's right. We kept on wanting to cut out the middlemen. Then we realized we were the middlemen.
Technically, we were the middlemen. But I'd rather be hoisted by a Picard.
They call me Jean-Luc.
Multiple entendre. Well done. Well played, sir.
Speaking of well played, howdy.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like your sense of timing. I don't like what you do with this. I don't like that just when we get a good thing going, we have a banter, we have a rapport, we're having a ha ha ha, everyone's laughing, everyone's joking. You're like, what can I do to literally throw sand in the gears of this well-oiled machine that we're trying so hard to perfect? I know what'll start the project. Well, I don't know, but I'm going to play didgeridoo in the background. It helps me think. And once the didgeridoo hits that kazoo, and you put them together, and you start the show, and you then play it now and ruin all of this, John. All of this.
I'm John L. Peacock from Brooklyn, New York, currently in the dirty mitten of Michigan.
And I'm my boy Pete out in Southern California, currently in a state of disbelief yet again of John's timing and his impeccable knowledge no, it's very peccable. It's not impeccable, it's super peccable. God damn you, John.
And you're listening to Two-Sided, where every episode I challenge Pete with a bit of the two sides of life, the fun and the serious.
The right and the wrong, the peccable and the impeccable, John.
You almost got me. I wanted to make some kind of comments on the peccable. I was like, ooh, that's good.
I know. Ooh, go on in there. Hey, the peccable's ripe for the picking. How many peckables could one man pick if one man pecked his own pickables? Impeccable.
I think you can pick a peck of peckables.
Oh, impeccably. Indubitably, sir.
Pick a peck of indubitably dubious peckables.
No, now you're just talking. Now that's a bunch of peccadillos, John. And I ain't going to have those now. Hey, John,
hey,
do
what
you
do you
know?
say? Yeah, what?
No, but on the film Picca, do you know the scientific name for starfish?
I don't believe I do. What is it?
Piccopoidea helenothoidea.
Really?
Yes, I promise you.
Helenothoidea?
Piccopoidea helenothoidea. Because we had to, in 6th grade, I went to science camp in like somewhere in Monterey, like somewhere over there, and you stayed on the beach and you do the tide pools, and then during the day you'd have to go back to class and learn, and there was like class, but it was in a camp setting.
Yeah.
And you'd have to learn all the scientific things, and what's the name of this, and what's this, and have a test at the end of the day, at the end of the week. But that was one of the things he said, you will never forget this. Piccopoidea helenothoidea, Piccopoidea helenothoidea. And so every time we see him, like, kids, what's this? The entire time, literally, anytime I saw anyone and they're talking about anything scientifically named or seafood related, we were all like, hey man, starfish, Piccopoidea helenothoidea. He's right, we'll never forget. It's like a peccadillo. Impeccable.
And peccable.
Yeah, impeccable. Don't be so persnickety. All right, John. I digress. As you were saying, my friend.
Let's jump into our first lightning round.
Lightning rounds. Oh, it's time to get down. I've been working on my own, John, but it's not the same. Lightning guy, he took off. He had a family event this week, and he's like, I can't be here. There's things going on in my personal life. As a lightning man, I just can't deal. And I was like, I've been trying to fill his big shoes. Lightning. Lightning round. No, it's not. I'm still working on it. We'll figure it out. If he's still gone next week, we'll figure it out.
Well, Passover is coming up, and Easter shortly thereafter. So, the holidays have always been a lightning rod for stress.
Oh, look what he did there. Look at this. Lightning rod. Well, I hope you fucking raised after 3 days from your depressive sleep there, my My sleepy Easter friends.
Anyone knows that our first lightning round of the episode is always a standard Q&A. My boy Pete, are you ready for the questions?
Oh, I'm fucking ready, baby. Let's do it.
All right. What is your favorite U.S.?
Sorry, I've already had 3 slip-ups. I'm like, I'm going to try and say curse word instead of say, fucking A, John. See, I did it again, but I was just saying what I wasn't going to say. So right. It's okay. So I'm only 3D. Curse word, I am ready, John. Curse word, yeah.
What is your favorite U.S. city?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Because I really, and it's like things you've seen, like, oh, I've spent a weekend there or like a day there. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Like, yeah, you lived here, you haven't done the things. Mm-hmm. I think places I've spent that I really enjoy, and I know they don't have their best. I really like Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is one of my favorite places because it's so hippy dippy, but it's cool, cutting edge. But there's also the beach and there's the mountains right there. If I was going big city, from what I know, what I like, I would say I would move to Denver. Of all the big cities, because it has great public transportation, has great everything. It still has the dirt that you want if you want to get to it, but it's just not like everywhere.
Right.
Like LA, you just think like, shit, I didn't know I could encounter here. I thought it was good. This is the La Brea tar pits. I thought, what is going on?
But it's still there. It's still findable if you choose to find it. Right. Or if it chooses to find you. Right.
Right. If you need to go and like, hey man, does anyone have a shitty weed hookup? Nope. All right. Let's go to the park because that's where I've seen kids. I know how to go find things in a park.
Now you just mean children at play, right? You don't mean the 1990s movie.
Well, they both work. Either one. Kids in a park playing or kids in a park playing. Anyway.
With skateboards. Yeah. Next question. What is your least favorite area in the U.S.?
I don't like, and this is where it's kind of a twofer. So I would say anything, first off, it's going to be in the east or the south, just specifically for weather purposes. Number one, right off the bat. So now it's like, okay, in this part of the world, what do I don't dislike the most? I personally can't say anything that I personally have experienced about Florida, because I've been at Disney World and spent like a week on property, and it was like just groovy. Like, what do you mean? It's great.
Oh, you stayed at one of the resorts? You stayed on property?
I stayed on property, yeah. So, and that was cool. And it was just like, yeah, you don't see anyone or anything ever but Disney all the time.
Right.
And it's like, you get bus from here. You take a little ferry boat over here. You have reservations here and a breakfast here and a thing here. Like, oh my God, this is magical. That was before the kid got eaten by the alligator, and before the pandemic when they found the guy living on the island who had been there for 2 years. Before that, but I would have to say I'm not a big fan of like. No, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I'd have to say like no, Mobile is good, but something a little Alabama, a little lower Alabama, like northern Florida, anything on the right there, like because you're looking at same thing. Well, you know what? No, I take it back. I could even go Texas. I could even say Texas, Oklahoma, because you're dealing with the weather then, and you're dealing with the mindset of the people, which, I mean, cool, that's great, 100%. Because I love Arizona. It's the same, like, oh, Arizona is Texas, is New Mexico, it feels the same. Like there's and that's cool. Some of my best people, but at the same time, like, I don't want a whole city run on that. I want a goddamn steak challenge, but I don't want.
Yeah, the Great Plains, right? Why would people go to a place that is purely dust and tornadoes and everything, like just like Arizona? Why are you going to a place that's so inhospitable?
Right, and that's the thing, though, man. Because you'd expect me to say, because I love there's a weird fucking special place in my heart for Safford, Thatcher Safford, but especially Safford, because it's so specific to an Arizona town. It's like, yeah, they were once like a Morency or a Duncan, but we've now come up. Look at us. They want to be what we are now. I'm like, one of these days we'll be in Apache Junction. No, you won't. No, you won't. That's a crossroads there. Well, we have a crossroads. It's too far away. Yeah. Solomon is like, oh my God, at some point we can be a Safford. It's just, but to me, there's a charm to it. It's just, I love it. I love driving the main street, like Main Street in college, John. I drove Main Street. Like I would troll, like, cause there was no rules. Coming from California, there was cruising laws. So if cops would post it both ends, and if they clocked you more than twice at each end, they'd get you a ticket for cruising. You can't come around because they don't want people cruising. So when it's like, I can literally go slowly up and down the street and like holler at like, what's up, soda machine girls? All right, we're going to the bar. Like, look hard. Someone give me a cigarette. All right, put the cigarettes out. We're going to the Mormon. Hey, girls, ice cream? Like, all right, give me a cigarette. We're good.
See you at church.
Yeah, so good. So good. So it's not the small town.
That's where cruising is meant to happen, right? The small town is where cruising is meant to happen because everybody basically knows everybody. So you're like, hey, Cindy. Hey, how's your girl? Hey, all right, I'll see you soon. Yeah, I'll see you on the next one.
Right. Hey, get in. Okay, hold on, I gotta pee. Get me on the way back. Yep.
Yep.
Like, so good. And also you're not worried about, well, when I was there, man, you weren't worried about everyone. And that was the thing in Arizona. So everyone had guns. Everybody had guns. You knew that.
Right.
But you were not worried about getting shot in any fight. There was never a worry about gunplay because everyone would be like, what the fuck's going on? And like, oh, we're gonna fight. And it was just like fantastic fighting. It was just the way it should be.
Right.
It was just like, God damn, man. And now
fisticuffs.
I haven't been there.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think we said that. I said, I'm gonna put hands on you, boy. I'm gonna put hands on you. Fisticuffs. I'm not a pugilist, John. I'm more of a fighter.
I think we fully answered that question.
I think we summed it up. Basically, what I was trying to say is like, I'm not anti-small town. I'm not anti the feeling, but it's more of a weather, of a climate, of a whole overall atmosphere. Like, it's not,
right.
I don't believe bad people. I don't believe there's a state or a city that has, oh, it's bad because of people, because of this. It's just like, oh, I don't like the transit is bad and it smells like poop and it's swampy. And also there's no Sonic burgers. So, or White Castles, depending on which side of the Mississippi you're on. Either way, I ain't fucking with it.
The swampy, like 9 months of the year swamp is just a hard thing to deal with.
I think of the Good Morning Vietnam. It's like, all right, we're gonna go over a man on the field out in weather. Jackson, how's the weather out there? Ha! Which is good with you with a lady, but not when you're in the jungle. Shit. Okay, coming right back to the studio. It's the same thing I think about every time I go to like Texas or New York or Long Island. Any of the, I know that's New York still, but I don't consider it the same place because there are different kind of people up there. The New York, the Long Islanders. Anyway,
That's right.
I digress. But anything out there, like, it's summertime's gross, bro. Summertime's gross.
Yeah. And I grew up in the desert. Like, yeah, I that is a much worse summer. The swampy summers are the worst.
Way worse. And the thing is, I feel like you'd have to get like I don't know, but no, because you see New York, it's all the fucking everyone in Brooklyn. You see the fucking everybody has like fucking sweat rags around their necks, and like there's tons of those. Like, I don't want to live like that, man. I don't live like that. I mean, I already sweat when I eat the 172 ounce steak challenge. I sweat when I do that, but I don't want to do, John, time and place. Anyway, so we answered the question.
Is that the new book, Eat, Sweat, Love?
Yeah. Eat, fart, sleep is going to be the come up next. It's going to be like, and then the refreshing, the idea of it's like a butterfly coming from the chrysalis. It's like a cocoon is being opened. It's a rebirth. It's redawning. The farting and the sleeping. It's like you need to out with the good, sleep with the bad. Wait, no, that's what I do at the bar. Damn it. Backwards. Out with the bad, sleep in the good, wake up a new person, and you're a goddamn butterfly.
The unexpected finale of the trilogy. That's right. All right, next question. If you could only have one food for the rest of your life and it was a cereal, which one would you have?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Great. Do you consider yourself a muse, an artist who uses muses, or self-inspired?
Oh, those are three. It's not either and or, because the last one or this. You said, do you this or this? Like this, I don't get to pick one of the three, John. Or two of the. John, rephrase your question. Rephrase it. I looked this up on Hulu, and they said that your co-host is not being a very good narrator.
How much do you identify with the following phrases? You yourself as a muse, yourself as an artist who uses muses, and yourself as a self-inspired creative person.
Okay. 3 phrases I was going to be, because we could have a whole conversation if you're like, do you identify as a muse? Period. Semicolon. Pause for laughter or hilarity. You can lump it all in together, John. But let me go ahead and say, hello. Yeah, I'm a goddamn muse. That one's a drop in the bucket. Like, there's no question. Like, I inspire people to be better than they should be, or to hate me. I inspire them to action. I'm like when the French resistance built the barricade. I inspire action. You can't ignore it. It's inspiring. I'm a muse of some sort. Hopefully artistic, because be classy with your things, but hopefully artistic. Next question. What was the next one? Next statement that I have to identify with or not?
How much do you identify as an artist who uses muses?
Okay. Now we're getting into the definition of muses, because muses is that the specific. Let me ask you, because I haven't looked it up, and I won't pretend to totally know. Is it inspiration that is a specific being, a living human being, a person, a thing that lives? Or is it an inspiration that comes from inspiration? Like inspired by, I watched Care Bears the movie and I was inspired to make Saving Private Ryan. Like, it's not based on, it's inspired by. Because
right.
I'll let you I'll let you know, John, the Care Bears went through some shit. If you go back and watch that, it was just like when he said, make your life worth it. And it was the same, it reminded me, he said, Care Bear shine. And it was very similar.
Which is fascinating because I'm actually wearing a Care Bears t-shirt right now.
Okay,
Careful. I'm grumpy.
It would be a lot cooler. Like I was almost super excited that John had a fucking badass shirt because I thought it said "Careful, I'm crumpy," and I thought it had Care Bears crumping, like doing that because the font looks the same, the G and the C. I'm like, oh no, I'm just dyslexic. Never mind. You're not cool. You're just wearing a Care Bears shirt. Turns out John wears PJs to the goddamn show today. I don't know, man. I
don't know. And final one. Oh, actually, you asked for clarification. So I would say let's go with the most modern definition of a physical embodiment, a person who is a muse to you. Yeah.
I will say a physical embodiment, the only time that I've ever been an artist who uses muses. Oh,
it's fun, right?
Yeah, it no super is. I had an amuse douche when I was amusing my muses. Oh, doozy of a time. Alliteration fun, John. Isn't it fun? And you thought I was illiterate. Shame on you. Shame on you. No. So I can honestly say, the only time that I've ever been an artist who it does use a muse is when I'm a bitch and I'm heartbroken and it's like, I'm gonna write some love songs. I'm gonna get her back. Or it's like, oh, I've never felt this way. I'm gonna write a love song and tell her how much she fucking used to be. And then I'll write the next one. It's like, I can't believe she left me. It's usually the first one. It's the latter before the former. Like who you do it. But and then after that, it's like, nah, man, I'm just here to jam. I'm here to make the people move. I'm here to bring smiles to them down in their dials, baby. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I don't need no muse. I am my muse.
And that leads into the final phrase of, do you consider yourself self-inspired?
Oh, you have to be. As an artist, you have to be. Because if you're looking for other people to lend you their shit, if you do find someone who inspires you, but they're not artistic, like they're not going to help you.
Right.
And if something goes wrong in that relationship, John, let me just relate it to, it was one of the best times of my life back in Safford, Arizona. I was on a mixed bowling team. And my buddy said, we need to get a girl because my good friend, she just moved out of state, so we need to find a replacement. I was like, dude, we'll get your girlfriend or get Jeff's girlfriend. He's like, no, man. 101, you can't bowl with a relationship because as soon as that goes awry, like one bad argument, you bring it into the alley, and now like we can't do fucking firebombs. We can't get crazy. And it's like everyone's like, yeah, I guess I'll drink some beers. I guess I'll pound beers. And it's very sad. It's like I might as well be at home in the closet weeping like a goddamn Reese's monkey because this is not fun. However, it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, you got to keep your muses separate because if you're only inspired and the person doesn't have any of the artistic lending of their or anything,
right,
versus the person who has all artistic lending. And now you're looking at, are we in the same business? Are we both musicians? And now it's like people you hang around. I don't want to. I'm working on this, so I want to give this out to this person. Like no one wants to. Like you want to help people, but you don't want to. You're not inspired by them. You're like, cool, that's cool. I'm working on this song. I'm not going to tell you about it until it's done and I have it recorded. It's awesome. I don't know, man. So no, like it's a definitely twofer. I feel like as a normal goddamn red-blooded human being, I feel like muses are inspired by large sweeps in emotion. They're inspired by people who are probably very emotional in all these other ways that can be manic, can be whatever, because they need the inspiration. I need to hear Eye of the Tiger so I can run up these steps. I need to do this. I need to have my heart broken so I can write Achy Breaky Heart. Shut up to Billy Ray Cyrus. Thought you'd appreciate that, baby. I'm just saying, but those are weak-minded people. Those are the normal person, but not weak-minded. It's if you are constantly going and constantly doing your own thing, oh, cool, I saw a sunset, and I Brada is I heard I see things and it reminded me of this. I thought of my home, my family, and it reminded me of and I wrote this song about seeing my family on the beach, and I seen it was different inspiration. It was an inspiration, not a muse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a difference, and I feel like muses are. All right, that's your muse. When she leaves, you're going to cut an ear off and send it to her. That's what I feel about a muse.
Sometimes they're not very amusing. Let's do a shot and get into our first segment of the evening. What do you think?
Oh, thank God. I was waiting for you to say let's do shots because we got all that alcohol here. Folks, this is a good time to let you know we're brought to you by Instacart. They're the ones who make all of my drinking possible because I don't leave the house to get booze. Instacart. Makes Pete drunk on Thursdays. Thanks, Instacart.
Thanks, Bing. Instacart.
I'm hoping because, John, here's the deal. I know for a fact a lot of people say if we talk about these things, we're going to get sponsorship. We're not going to get sponsorship. I'm hoping and praying we get a cease and desist. If we get a cease and desist and we put we have made it, oh, you got canceled on stereo, motherfucker. We got a cease and desist from Instacart. You're welcome. Boom. Oh, but we'd have to get the P.O. box first. Never mind. Keep going.
I could see Disney as the first to mail us at our new P.O. box.
I love me some Disney. I'm going hard with paint Instacart because we are associating them specifically with drunken debauchery and enablement. And nobody wants to be involved with enablement and the juxtaposition of such. Nobody.
You're the muse of Instacart.
Straight. I'm actually more the poster child. Hey man, do you not have a shirt and can't get in the markets? Well, call Instacart. They'll bring you booze to your drunken house with no shirts, no shoes, no fucking problem. Instacart. Let's get hammered.
We got Jet. Quick question.
Oh, dude. Oh, bro. Dude. Okay, so I was a big purveyor of the local Circle K. Not only could I get my gas, my cigarettes, my Red Bull, my beer, they also have liquor, but that was before I was old. Because my body's a temple, and I was trying to lose weight, so I didn't want to drink all the beer. So now it's just, I'm a drunken, svelte motherfucker. I'm beautiful and hammered. But then it was a lot of times because you're out. At that time, I was going out all the time. You know what I mean? I've only been out to the bars, and it's it feels weird now. It's all the people you used to know, and now I'm just a bar fly. I'm trying to go talk to people. This is bullshit. God damn it. Where's the people I used to do shots with? All my bartenders are gone. It's the hard thing of becoming a couple years later because all the bars closed here and they a lot of them reopened new bartenders. or you hit the wrong shift. Your one bartender is like, oh no, I only work Fridays and Saturdays, prime time. And like, yeah, I'm not coming out for that.
Right. They have no time for you anyway, unfortunately.
Exactly. At that point, it's very different. So, but when you're out and about, you'd also like, cool, let's go and hit any of the restaurants. And like, oh, and you always have like drunken leftovers. Like my fridge was full of drunken, like, you guys want pizza or half a sandwich? Or it looks like that's chicken. Nope. That's rotten cheese. Never mind. Don't eat that.
Put in the chili. It should work out.
That's fine. You cook it down. Yeah, you cook it down. We reduce it. Reduce it. I've been watching a lot of cooking shows. Reduce the rotten cheese and serve it to the children.
Hey, and we want to thank you for that question there, Jet, the representative of Instacart. They're on us already, Pete. They're on us already.
I'm telling you. I told you there's algorithms for this shit. I've been saying this, bro. I've been saying this. If you look at it, so anyone out there, John, we didn't do the whole, because it was just a very weird vibe. Anyways, listen, we're live right now on YouTube. Every Thursday we go live on YouTube. We say 5 o'clock. It never happens at 5 o'clock because the world is against us. We shake our fists in the heavens and say, is that all you can do? And the world says, oh, no, motherfuckers. I got more for you. And it takes us about 20 minutes to get on. But if you hit that link right above us right now on the top of if you're listening on stereo, you can go live and see our beautiful faces. Yikes. If you're listening on an Apple podcast, on a two-way, on a smoke signal, on like maybe a Raven that's flying from Winterfell to Citadel, you can also find us on stereo or email us at twosidedpod@gmail.com. It's twsidedpod@gmail.com. Tell your Raven extra hurries because we need those coming quick.
And our YouTube channel is Two Sided Podcast. TWO Sided Podcast.
I know. I have so many jokes to make because like we're starting a thing. Like, well, we should name it different things in different places. Of course we should. We'll call it the Two-Sided Podcast, full of unicorns and bullshit dolphins with rainbow sprinkles. Perfect. They'll always see that coming. Because anytime I tell people, like, oh, go on to Spotify, like, we can't find it. Look for a dumb ginger and a glasses Jesus. Halo's gone on. Anyway, I digress. I digress. Right? Bro, I'm telling you, this is how the first time I ordered Instacart, he came up, he delivered me booze. The guy said, I said, how much do I owe you? And he said, first one's free. It's the same time. He's like, you want to fly? Yeah, I do. Do you want to fly but not leave the house? Yeah. Welcome to Instacart. There's a good joke here, John. I can't think of it quick enough. God damn it. No one says.
No one says they want to be an Instacart junkie when they grow up.
Right? It shows me like falling down the stairs with no shoes on, holding the ball. You don't need to check my ID, do you? Stupid. Stupid.
Speaking of stupid, we're going to talk tonight about Kellogg's Utopia. Kellogg's Utopia.
Okay. It's really fun when you put words together because if you're talking about Kellogg, the actual human person who started the Kellogg company,
John Harvey Kellogg, MD.
Correct. Back in the time, because this was back when there was a whole health crisis that came up with the Seventh-day Adventists. Okay, so we're talking that, but you're also saying the word Utopia, which has nothing to do with Seventh-day Adventists, breakfast cereal, or John Kellogg. So
it has a little bit to do with John Kellogg himself, because it's something that he actually tried to create.
Tried to create. I tried to create a great show, John. Doesn't mean that my boy Pete's two-sided Utopia exists. You don't get to throw words together. That's pretty good. All right. John Kellogg, I'm ready.
Here we go. So a little bit of a backstory. In 1888, the powerful Michigan Central Railway erected a Romanesque train station in a remote hamlet in southwestern Michigan called Battle Creek. It was built to accommodate the multitude of health-seeking pilgrims flocking from all over the U.S. and Europe to, quote, take the cure, end quote, at the town's luxurious Battle Creek Sanatorium, which, although founded in 1866, was officially opened as the Western Health Reform Institute on September 5th of 1867.
Right. No, because they're coming there because that was run by, you want to go back further than that. That was like the Adventist church and the good word and how to live your mind, body, soul collectively, and like, don't smoke, don't drink, don't pierce your ears, don't buy a bicycle, don't do these, like, all these different specific weird things. It's like, yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we got a train station to come to do some weird shit and a weird medical thing. It's like us right now building a train station so we can go to Peyote Way Church of God for a nice cleansing. So it turns out all train roads lead to Peyote Way Church of God, so you can get your Peyote Way enema. And everybody's going there. It's a new big thing. So here we are in Battle Creek, Michigan, 1888. Railway station built. Gotcha.
Some famous spa patients included John D. Rockefeller Jr., Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Amelia Earhart, Warren G. Harding, and Booker T. Washington and Sojourner Truth.
She's just saying all these ones, and I hear, like, my mind, like, Amelia Estevez, Warren G. Tupac. What? This is ridiculous. It's like Coachella in Battle Creek, Michigan. Go ahead.
You could relate it. It was like a Battle Creek Coachella back in the 1800s.
Well, full on, because I was saying of the whole, they had the what do they call him? The fucking fake Tupac. He rapped after he was dead. And a
hologram.
Hologram! God damn it. It takes a village to raise this guy. Whew. Sorry, I'm going to shut the fuck up and let you go for a minute because I need to figure this out. Go ahead. 1888, Battle Creek, Michigan, folks. Let me sum up. No, we're too far along to sum up. Let me just reiterate. 1888, Battle Creek, railroad station, Michigan, go!
So unlike other spa resort sanatoriums that had warm mineral baths, like in Wiesbaden or the saintly waters of the Lourdes, the Battle Creek Sanitarium, affectionately known as the San, possessed no natural physical charms for restoring health. Instead, it became a world-renowned destination of health and healing, thanks to the charismatic ministering of its director, John Harvey Kellogg, MD. This guy is a medical celebrity. He's a best-selling author. He's a magazine editor, a skilled surgeon, public health expert, popular speaker, and Seventh-day Adventist Christian missionary, as pointed out by my boy Pete.
Gives great back rubs, slow to anger, easy to laugh, fun to go on road trips with, great sense of music, can't stand to dance, but will do it on a whim. Great guy all around. And cereal, don't get me started.
So he was only 5 feet 4 inches tall, rotund yet athletic, and dressed entirely in white, He had spectacles on, a pointy bearded physician that proclaimed God had chosen him to make the world a healthier place.
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar at all there, my boy Pete?
No, there's a lot, because number one, it sounds like if Colonel Sanders and Jim Belushi had a baby, and then they dressed him up as a Christian, and they gave him my personality and said, "Hey, I'm here to make the world a funnier place. Screw you guys." It sounds like all of us coming together. Like, that's a trifecta. Is that? Am I part of the Godhead with the Belushi, the Sanders, and the my boy Pete?
That's right. That is correct.
Wow. That's our next merch, John.
The trifecta. So many journalists who were maybe a little cynical mocked Kellogg's followers as calling them battle freaks, which, Battle Creek, battle freaks, they were making a nice play on words. We all love that. But that hardly mattered, because whenever he spoke, it was standing room only. And without question, Kellogg was one of the most famous physicians in the United States at this time.
Oh yeah. He did. Okay, so I grew up around Adventists, and so Kellogg was like, yeah, I have some very all the things going back and the history of and where it comes from, and where there's a lot of things I'm going to and then stop myself and like, you'll need to continue, because like literally I'll go down a weird fucking path that no one will understand. It's like, and then we were speaking in tongues and they made me get bit by a snake. And I was like, who gets bit by snakes? I'm like, wash your feet. Like, that's crazy. Let's not eat meat, but we'll have Kellogg loaf. That's really weird. And like, all of that shit will take hours to unpack.
All right.
None of it's true.
Right. But it will take hours to unpack.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
we only have 20 minutes.
Let's move forward. In one of the nearby buildings of the main sanitarium, there were 8 white-tiled indoor pools and hundreds of baths that would have made the ancient Romans jealous. Down the hall from the bathrooms was Kellogg's Sanctum Sanctorum, the enema room. Stuffed with gleaming enema machines that could be pointedly deliver 15 quarts of water per minute into the human colon.
Bro, 15, I don't deal with nothing but less than 18 right now. And the thing is, I use either cold black coffee or White Russians, depending on how I'm feeling that day. If I'm doing the White Russians, I swallow. That's all I'm saying.
Kellogg ordered his patients to produce 4 or more bowel movements per day, just like the healthy apes he had once observed while on safari in Africa. He was the son of a broom manufacturer. Kellogg was obsessed with bodily cleanliness, both external and internal. If the water enemas were not enough, he ordered his patients to consume a pint of yogurt each day, followed by a yogurt enema.
Yes! Bro, when's the last time you put your feet into a bowl of jelly? Because we're now just talking like on different sense, like, oh, do you like to have a hamburger that has crisp bacon and melty weird cheese and a toasted bun? Now you're talking texture. Do you like to put your toes in Jell-O with pineapples in it, maybe fruit? I don't know. Do you like to put yogurt in your butt? All we are doing is negotiating. That is all we are doing.
So, throughout his career, Kellogg warned that consuming meat was the gastronomic equivalent of a death wish. He was a vegetarian long before the term was coined. Kellogg developed his dietetic theories in protest against the era's standard fare of fatty, salted meats and fried foods. In keeping with his philosophy of wellness and disease prevention, or as he called it, quote, biological living, Kellogg insisted on daily, vigorous exercise, plenty of fresh air, complete abstinence from sex, alcohol, caffeine, and tobacco. One of his most popular books, Tobaccoism, published in 1922, is considered by many medical historians to be the first popular text alerting Americans to the dangers of tobacco smoking.
Folks, and this is the time that we'd like to thank our sponsors, marijuana weed, and all the carcinogens that they bring to the table. Folks, this is the time on the Two-Sided Pod where we rebel against our forefathers and say sanatorium, I say sanitarium, and I say Santa, no, I won't you. Let's smoke them if we got them. And John, I have a shot ready, so we're doing both too. Cheers, everybody. Yep, and then you gotta go here. Come on. Come on.
Cheers.
Come on.
Bink. Pinky to bink. Boink.
All right, welcome.
Starting to get good. So since his
No,
death,
it's not starting good. No, it's not starting to get good because John. The only thing I'm going to say, fuck you. Well, we haven't got. Okay, go. I gotta have the right timing for it because it's coming up. I know.
It's so funny because of all the different segments that I brought to you, you seem to know so much about this. This is deep in your bones.
You have no idea. Did you or did you not hear our conversation before we had our technical difficulties, before we fucking got this curse word, got this show started? I'm going to give... Folks, I'm trying to... All right, but I got like 7 curse words in. But this one we're trying to put into the Smithsonian, and they said you need to be... because of your intellect, you need to be in the children's show category, but you can't curse. And John's like, not a problem. And I said, oh, darn. Okay.
Since his death in 1943, Kellogg has gained a reputation as something of a comical quack, due in part to his portrayal in Boyle's 1993 novel *The Road to Wellville* and the movie of the same name with Anthony Hopkins as the Good Doctor.
Right. Because, and that's the thing. Okay, and here's the rub. Here's what I get. And here's this is the first time because John, you didn't experience this. You grew up in Arizona. You went from Arizona to New York. You were an educated man among people who were trying to become educated, who were forward thinking. Do you remember when the CrossFit or vegan or yoga, those 3 big trends came through?
Yep.
And always the jokes were like, hey, how do you know if you met a vegan? They'll tell you. How do you know if you met? They'll tell you.
They'll tell you.
Right?
Yeah.
This was the first time when it was it's that I'll tell you, that kind of bullshit. And I grew up with that around me of like, However, and this is the rub for me. This is the rub because I'm like, man, look at it. I'm like, cool. It is better if you CrossFit. It is better if you're vegan. It is better if you yoga. It is better if you do enemas. It is better if you abstain from these things. John, if you don't have chunks on the bottom and do the enema with just clear, it's way good. If you have chunks on the bottom like brown sugar and cinnamon, don't put that up in your butthole. That's what we learned day 1 in Kellogg school. However, I'm just saying this is the first time we get this concept of like, God damn, just shut up. But it is correct. But just shut up. Shut up. Once you hit cereal, John, I have another story. Go. I'm waiting for cereal. Go.
As a progenitor of the cereal product that would eventually be eaten by millions, Dr. John Kellogg's granola was originally served as a medicinal food at his Battle Creek sanitarium. With that, Kellogg was a disciple of Horace Fletcher, a dubious health expert who advised people to chew each bite of food at least 40 times before swallowing. Kellogg often led diners at the sanitarium in a rousing rendition of the chewing song, according to the medical historian Howard Markle.
So no, you went through that very, very quickly. Can you go back and say who said what to do what and take a breath in between so I can hear that and like have a retort and just because I had something about it. I think it could not be possible at all.
Sure. Dr. John Kellogg's granola was originally served as a medicinal food at his Battle Creek sanitarium. With that, Kellogg was the disciple of Horace Fletcher. Who was the health expert who advised people to chew each bite of food at least 40 times before swallowing. Kellogg
40 times. 40 times before swallowing. 40 times before swallowing. Horace Fletcher, his wife. No, there's nothing there, John. See, now you can move on.
Kellogg often led diners at the sanitarium in a rousing rendition of the chewing song, which the sample chorus of this is chew, chew, chew. That is the thing to do. It was shown in the 2017 book, The Kellogg's, The Battling Brothers of Battle Creek.
But that's a whole. Book, are you listing your footnotes now, John? Are we taking that time because we thought we were pausing for in between comments? I don't know. I'm just checking.
Well, so this is an in-source.
No. That's in-source citation, folks. We're going to write that down next to Horace Fletcher's name and his very excessively masticating wife, who does everything at least 40 times before she swallows.
There you go. You're getting better.
I'm trying to, but if you just give me space to breathe, because internal. God damn it! I had the good other joke about what was the other one about? Fuck! I didn't write it down. You know what? I give either out, folks. This is where things start. He's usually right after this one, but apparently John's been drinking too much, or didn't eat enough food, or wasn't hugged enough, or too much as a child. We don't know. Let's continue the show.
1907 ad in Good Housekeeping magazine, the Battle Creek Sanitarium boasted an offering of 46 different kinds of baths. Some, like foot baths and sponge baths, were relatively conventional, but there were also options like the continuous bath, which was...
What year?
1907.
Good Housekeeping was around in 1907, John?
Yeah. It's one of the earlier magazines.
Okay, all right. No, I'm just trying to clarify because you like to run on like a goddamn sentence with no, like you're being paid by the word and you're being penalized for the punctuation. And I feel like this is how run-on sentences. This is, you know what, John? It reminds me of old Willie Shakespeare's, where he said the first show, he said, "Pay me by the word." And I said, "Okie dokie." And the second one, he said, "Oh, I digress." Nathaniel Hawthorne ain't gonna got shit on me. Go ahead. Sorry.
So talking about the continuous bath, which is much like a regular bath, except that it could last. Kellogg wrote, quote, "For many hours, days, weeks, or months, as the case may require," end quote. So the patients were apparently allowed to get out of the bath occasionally to use the toilet, but that's basically it. So Kellogg advocated continuous baths as a treatment for skin disease, chronic diarrhea, and a host of mental maladies, including delirium, hysteria, and mania.
No. First off, everybody knows now you don't get out of the tub to use the bathroom now. It's like everyone's like, "Hey, you have more cocktails, turn the bubbles up," and but maybe that works for delirium or dementia. If you have diarrhea, they will know. So I highly recommend getting out of the tub, going to a different tub. But you know what the thing is, when they're talking about that in Good Housekeeping in 1907, it reminds me when Burt Reynolds was in Cosmo. It was a spark of a new idea. It was something special in the world. You know, John. It's a new way to think. It's a new way to dress. It's a new way to eat. It's a new way to poop. Let's just move on.
Now you're talking about Cosmos, the Carl Sagan series.
I'm talking about when Burt Reynolds had a full nude centerfold with just his hand over his junk in Cosmo. I've been watching
Magazine is what you're referring to.
Right. No, Carl Sagan and Burt Reynolds had a tryst once in Hawaii, and we don't talk about that. And if you were a gentleman and a scholar, you would know that that's forbidden. That's German for no touchy, no touchy.
A zealous lifelong foe of what he called, quote, the solitary vice and, quote, the vile practice, Kellogg wrote that masturbation led to poor digestion, memory loss, impaired vision, heart disease, epilepsy, and insanity, to name just a few insidious side effects. To break young boys of the habit, Kellogg suggested procedures that range from ridiculous to barbaric, including tying their hands, bandaging the offending organ, or putting a cage over it. I kid you not. And if that didn't work, he recommended circumcision without anesthetic.
Yeah, John. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know how you grew up, John. But I'm saying all of these things are pretty much guaranteed to cure touching your pee-pee.
What happened to just telling you that you're going to grow hairy palms or that you're going to go blind or something? Holy crap.
No, I want you to know he said that. That was in the thing. He said not only will it cause blindness, heart disease, alopecia, it'll cause your intestines to grow by 17 feet or shrink by 92. We do not know. Touch that wang, you going dang. I mean, that's down in the South. We don't know. But John, it reminds me, John, it reminds me. Okay, you see my arms, John? John, you see my arms?
Yeah.
They're straight. They're straight. They're straight like arrows. They're straight like arrows.
Yeah.
And this is a good analogy. It's like I know for a fact that when my uncles and my dad were growing up, two of them were thumbsuckers. I'm not going to say it runs in our family.
Right.
So I'm not going to say it's my dad or the uncles because there's a lot of them. But anyone who fucking cares. But grandma, to stop them, would take popsicle sticks and sharpen them. So they'd be like little daggers. And she'd tape them here into their arms. So if they tried to pull, they'd get stabbed. Like, So, yeah, no, the chastity belt, a little cage, yeah, it'll work. Yeah.
And if it didn't work, he recommended circumcision without anesthetic. Quote, as the brief pain attending the operation will have a salutary effect upon the mind, he wrote in his book, Plain Facts for Old and Young.
100%. Like, again, the words are correct. If you have extreme pain, and I'm not saying like this is the one to do the thing of the whatever, you have extreme pain, it will focus your mind if you don't pass out.
Right.
Whatever that is. When you did your fucking back shit.
Yep.
Any shoulder dislocation, when I was shot, like any of those, anything. Yep. But the thing is, it can be anything. And in addition, yeah, you should definitely be circumcised because that's gross if you're not. It looks like a goddamn midget putting on a turtleneck. What the fuck is that? Hello?
But the without anesthetics?
Well, yeah, because you should have known better, or at least your parents should have known better, and now you can yell at them when you go home in all that pain. You should have taught me better.
So Kellogg did have even more
because no, but John, let me just, and I know you probably don't know this, or maybe you do know this, but you're not making the correlation, unfortunately. because with the Seventh-day Adventist religion, it's very based on the Jewish, where everyone's circumcised, where it's very because of cleanliness, because of, and it's specific to that. So him saying these things, it means that you are a convert or you are not already part of.
Right.
It's a way to make it reminds me when I was working at Nexium and I was doing these really good trainings. And I was like, if you don't get that brand, then you ain't gonna stand. So, and we did a lot of rhyming, but they weren't good.
I worked for him, but I was just doing the cold calls in the telephone center. I was like, "You like volleyball? Hey, check this out. Hey, you like volleyball? Hey, come on."
100%. And that's how they got that whole college scandal thing of like, oh, now you're on the rowing team, now you're on the volleyball team. It was a Nexium plant. Like, buddy, you're next. You better watch out, Edward Massimo. Like, if you're Aunt Kate, you're fucked, John. You better watch out, baby. Woo! Okay, that's a tough ride there. I think we.
Yeah, but Kellogg had an even more gruesome set of treatments for girls, including the application of pure carbolic acid to the clitoris, or in more extreme cases, surgical removal. For those treatments are practiced. A few of those treatments are practiced today, thankfully, and in most cases. But he did live to the uncommon age of that time, 91, suggesting that he did know a couple of things about staying healthy. He just forced it upon people in very unhealthy ways.
Yeah. Welcome to Christianity, John. Like, I don't know if you get the whole correlation here, but what is right and what is good are very, very rarely aligned in everyone's views.
Right.
There's a universal right, and then there is subjective right. And you look at like, okay, like what is the whole would you kill one person to save 1,000 that you don't know? Like, but you have to look someone in the eye and kill them. It's that whole like, all right, so what is good versus for one versus good for the many versus. So here's someone who picks different than us or correct than us. I don't know, because I've never been able to answer that question with a specific answer. Like, it's a goddamn 2-hour conversation of me yelling and like smoke a pack and a half. Like, we got to go to the bar. This is bullshit. We got to get to the bottom of this. Let's get a test group. We'll kill 4 of them and we'll see if we want to let the rest of them live. No, it's fine. They'll be in the well. We'll put the lotion on the skin. We have a little pool here. It'll be fine.
It's you've said this before, for any major advance in medicine, in culture, in many ways, in morality, there has to be a monster to set it against. And sometimes the monster is the one who actually shows the innovation. It does horrible things to innocent people, but the innovation then and the medicine and or procedures that come out of it are actually extremely useful and have advanced us so much.
John, oh my God. Okay. No, that you're throwing my words back at me, because I did more research on that, because I tune in and out a lot of my own words and also my own consciousness. It's like, I'm in the kitchen? What the fuck? Oh my God, I'm chasing this guy. Oh, nope, he's chasing me.
Just keep him on mental, you'll be fine.
Right, it's very touch and go. Very touch and go. But the idea of, because there are all of these people who have made these amazing advancements medically, who have been, or socially, or anything, but they've been fucking awful people. You know what I mean? But you look at No, I can't even say it. I can't even. There's doctors. Okay. There's doctors who have done horrible things, and I'm not condoning any. Like, I don't condone this shit. Just so you know,
Right.
I don't condone Kellogg.
Right.
So that's my jump point. I don't condone this. I don't condone anything that makes anyone do anything they're not willing to do. Like, I'm willing to put let's put flyers up and do dance competitions and have like free concerts, but no Kool-Aid with poison is my thing. I'm very specific, so don't get it twisted. But if you look at the Kellogg's of the world, you look at the people who are like, oh no, here's Madame Curie. You look at people who are now having specific, who have
the lobotomy ban, right?
The lobotomy, right? Just fuck, man. Then you take them, juxtapose them with Mengele, and people who are like, well, what is the human body susceptible to? Like, no, motherfucker, that's like none of it is okay.
Yeah.
But someone got a shit stick because they were on definitely the wrong side. But I think everyone is the wrong side. But they were on the side that did not rewrite the history.
Right.
Right now, we're reading the report of the history that has won, and this is how this Kellogg has been written in our society, right? Because fuck, Joe, I can go. That's a whole different thing. I'm not even going to different people. Okay. Basic broad examples. Okay, go. No, we're doing good.
I have one more thing on Kellogg before just talking about him and this cereal and how that became popular. But Kellogg was outspoken on his beliefs on race and segregation, though he himself adopted a number of black children. In 1906, together with Irving Fisher and Charles Davenport, Kellogg founded a Race Betterment Foundation, which became a major center of the new eugenics movement in America. Kellogg was in favor of racial segregation and believed that immigrants and non-whites would damage the gene pool.
Fuck you. Sorry, not you. Go ahead.
Nope, I get it. And that's it. I don't really, we don't need to talk more on that. Yeah, it was horrible. Okay, moving on. John Harvey Kellogg invented the cornflake cereal for the involuted people who came to his Battle Creek sanitarium. It was his little brother, Will, though, who realized, there are a lot more people who are healthy and just want a convenient, tasty breakfast than those who are ill and in need of easily digestible breakfast. So he had added a little sugar, a little salt to the cornflakes, and it just took the world by storm in 1906 because you could simply pour breakfast out of a box.
Yeah, no. And the thing is, John, you give me two jokes because I have something actually to say, but you can just pour breakfast out of a box. But if you buy actively enough kilos of cocaine, you can pour the cocaine out of a box and you can call it breakfast. Yeah! You want some cocaine? Oh, shit, he's back. No.
Thank you, Speedies. Yeah, Lightning Guy went out to go found Speedies, our breakfast joint that also serves cocaine.
All right, takes all kinds. But I see. I forgot the actual point I was going to make. So I was all about fucking Speedies and the cocaine joints jokes now. Like, I've lost my interest.
So he didn't really think of it as something that could be marketable. His younger brother Will did, and ran.
Oh, there we go. So John. Let me tell you how much cornflakes influenced my childhood in such a horrible way. So when I became aware of book learning, that I wanted to know more of it so I could hate more on an intellectual level. That is how I became aware of John Harvey Kellogg, also John Wilkes Booth. It's a two.
Right, yeah.
whatever. I like three-part
John,
names.
three namers.
Yeah. Oh, John, the three namer. I am. No, before. No, that's Henry VIII. I am. I'm also not musically inclined. Anyway.
Would I be one of those, John L. Peacock?
Yeah, no. If you didn't hate guns or confrontation as much as you do, I would honestly have pegged you in college for a fucking. Oh no, that motherfucker! Yeah, he's gonna climb a clock tower and thin out the population for sure. But it's like, no, he doesn't like guns. He's not mechanically inclined. He doesn't like stepping and walking, and he's very accepting of people's shortcomings. Yeah, no, he's not going to kill anyone. We're going to kill him. We're going to get his ass.
Might influence a couple of minds before I go. That's my contribution,
bro. You definitely are, but I don't know if you knew this, but all of us in college, without you in theater, formed a pact. We lit a bonfire. We burned things and said, I know what John Peacock's going to do on us last summer. and we're all going to get him. So if you see random people from your past, hey, John, what's up, man? Do you want to hang out? I was like, watch for the gun. Watch for the quick movement. Watch for the meat hook. Of course we'll go to the packing district.
He's called West. He's called Crazy West for a reason.
Oh, Ammon? Yeah, I'll go to the packing district with you. Of course I like meat freezers. You bet.
He's 5 foot nothing. He's fine. Nope.
So, John, so let me tell you, the fucking Kellogg cornflake cereal affected my childhood. And this is why I was so interested in, like, who the fuck do you think, who the swear word do you think you are? You come into my swear word life? You tell my swear word mom that this is what we should swear word eat? I'm swear word and dying that you think you can swear word talk to me like this. Because of the no meat, because of the no alcohol, because of the no jewelry, because of the no things. The fun thing, we were in a German group religiously, but German. So like there was great like cheese blintzes and Kuchen and schnitzel, but the schnitzel was not meat. It was veggie meat. Fuck you. I hated schnitzel until I was 22 because I thought it was all vegetarian. I was very angry about schnitzel. However, cheese blitzes, those are cheese and pasta. It's like a goddamn ravioli for Germans. I'm with it.
Delish.
One of the things they had every goddamn party, every picnic, every potluck, everything was Special K loaf. And it was, but when you didn't have Special K, because they would say, the secret is, it's cornflakes. And I was like, that's the first time I wanted to swallow a bullet. And I was 7 years old. This was the worst. Horrible. No, but that's a joke. You should never want to do that. But also, that's why I was like, who is this goddamn mystical man who I don't want to eat the cereal in the morning, and now you made it into a goddamn lunch and dinner meal, and all the old ladies are trading recipes with. Is this what I read from Iceberg Slim's book? Pimp, you got to get in with them hoes. You got to let them know, like, girl, vegetarian's the way to go. Oh, you want to poop right? Oh, girl, you going to poop right like a motherfucker. Vegetarian style.
Shout out to Iceberg Slim.
I'm telling you what, I'll take that one. Oh, that's the only one I'm not going to argue with you on. Iceberg Slim gets a fucking every time, baby.
So John, as the older brother, never missed an opportunity to pick on or humiliate his younger brother, Will, from childhood on. And in his old age, Will said, what I remember most about my childhood is that I shared a bed with John, and he would warm his cold feet on my back during the winter, and he would push him and make fun of him. This was his childhood. And of course, then Will worked for John for almost 25 years as as an administrative aide. And John did all sorts of mean things. He had him run beside him as John rode his bike across the campus, and Will had to take notes or dictation whenever John was speaking. And when John went to the bathroom to have a bowel movement, which he loves so much, he made Will come in and take notes so he wouldn't waste a moment long before LBJ was doing that to all of his White House aides.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, sorry. I'm on a different level. I'm just thinking like anyone who's had a pet out there, who's had something, and you go take a shit and like the door's closed, but like no, the door doesn't close because the dog wants to come sit on your foot, or the cat wants to come and like stand above you on the shelf. Like I believe they were the first. Again, John, I don't think it's correct, but I think it's correct. The bastions of correct, like we didn't have cell phones back then. You ain't gonna play fucking any of your games. You need an animal. You need someone to take notes. You need someone to talk to. Like, all right, tell me about the news of the day. I know, but now you're hung up on like, oh, your pants are down. Will it make you feel better if you took your pants down? No, fair enough. Awful.
So John also didn't pay Will well, and he didn't treat Will well. Yet Will was this business genius who knew how to run a very large organization. So as soon as Will became successful, John Harvey sold him the rights and made a mint off the cornflake stock. Will started making his own cereal and calling it Kellogg's. And of course, Will by this time had advertised a fairly well. This was around the beginning of 1909. And he was investing millions of dollars a year in ads. And he felt that Kellogg name product was not nearly as tasty as his product. So it would harm his company. So to some extent, to a large extent, he was right. So he sued John Harvey about the damage of the name, and then John Harvey sued Will for suing him with a countersuit. So this became a huge rivalry between the Kellogg brothers of the cereal, how much it was making, how much it was being harmed by John Harvey's antics, and how much Will was trying to separate himself from it.
Yeah. Crazy begets crazy. I'm telling you, John, once you get that, like, oh, now there's a God complex into something, like there's a health, again, it's kind of correct, but then you're like, because, and you start doing it for the things for the wrong reasons, like now you're insane. It's a fine line, bro. Grass is greener on the other side as long as their bowls are being packed. That's what I always say.
So, final note, the ripple effect is C.W. Post visited Battle Creek Sanitarium, operated by John Harvey Kellogg, for his failing health. And there he was inspired to start his own cereal company based on the products used there, which we now know as Post cereal.
Right. And there's 2 scoops of raisins in every Post cereal box. There's actually not. There's a lawsuit about that. And that's going to be in the follow-up to the Kellogg Post conspiracy two-sided conundrum.
Well, if you like what you're listening to, there's more Two-Sided out there. On our YouTube channel, Two-Sided Podcast, you can watch us live every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we record these episodes live here on the Stereo app. You can find us individually as John L. Peacock and my boy Pete. And also we're on Instagram and Twitter, both at Two-Sided Pod. That's TWO Sided Pod. And finally, our Gmail is two-sidedpod at gmail.com. TWO Sided Pod at gmail.com.
All right, and let me go ahead and clarify a lot of things. One, you'll never find me on social media. Number two, you will find me at closed down Kmart's around and in your area. Also, if there's a Sears, I will be selling puppies in front of it. You're welcome. Come find us there. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button.
And we've gone viral, so you can find us on Apple Podcast and Spotify, both of which you can rate us now. So please follow us and rate us there. 5 stars is, if you like it, why are you here anyway? Just rate us that. It doesn't hurt you. It only helps us.
Right. And you can also find us on Grindr, Tinder, Plenty of Fish, and you can rate us there. Swipe left, swipe right. And don't be afraid to subscribe to all of those fans-only pages coming at you on the twosidedpod at gmail.com. That's TWO-sidedpod at gmail.com.
We got some messages here. Let's.
I know, man. And we got to do it. And then the thing is, I'm because MFA got out and okay, she's back. Foxy's back. So I was like, I got to start texting people directly.
Hey, fellas, how you doing? MFA here doing a segment on Kellogg's, huh? Excellent. Sorry I'm late. Happy to be here.
See, that's my girl. John, we got to think about this because John, look at me. John, look at me.
Yeah.
Look, I look at my lighting because it's getting dark now and it's getting very look at me.
Dramatic. Hey.
No, I know. Look at this side boob. What about this side boob?
It's a side chin, my friend. That's a side chin.
John, my boobs go all the way up to my beard. My beard goes away with my boobs. I'm telling you what, baby. Kate got nothing. Love it. Keep going.
All right.
I should be the one hitting the buttons when I'm ready to rock.
I feel like you were talking about the hologram of Tupac.
Yes!
Never been. Not sure I want to go.
No, you do not. No, you do not.
No, you do not.
By the way, guys, hello, everybody. That was rude of me. Sorry. Lost my manners. They went rolling down the hill. Smoking with that doobie. I don't know. Either way.
Foxy lady. Girl, how you doing? I'm so glad she's here. Because one of my favorite things about these two, those two, them two, our two, is that they tag team us. All right, there's show a little bit of support. He's like, oh, I gotta run this, and he's on the road, and she's doing her thing. I just love it because someone's here representing.
Yep.
Foxy lady. MFA's back. Okay.
Did you say you went to the kitchen and you didn't know how you got there? All right, John, I think it's time for us to call Instacart. Tell them Pete's done for the night.
That's what us alcoholics call a moment of clarity when you pop up in the kitchen and you realize I should be in the bathroom. Well, I'll get the maid to call this and clean it up. No bueno. Jokes, all jokes.
Yeah, baby, cornflake, chicken.
Yep.
Pork chops.
Yes.
And baby, putting in some spices.
Oh, girl.
God, it's like a breading. Brilliant.
Okay. So, John, thank God there's no more. Not thank God. I love it. There's more. But I don't have to cut you off to play another thing, but I'm going to tell MFA because literally, I didn't know about cornflake chicken because I grew up, cornflakes it was a vegetarian thing for me. I didn't equate the two. And so I didn't even think of you should do this to this thing. And so when I got involved in adult life and I was out of my house in a different house, it was a house of cards. It fell very quickly. However, I was there and anyway, I found there was it's chicken. You do chicken strips, chicken thighs, chicken breasts, or whatever. You can do whatever you want. Chicken. We'll do chicken, all right? And you do buttermilk sour cream base with, and you dip them in busted up Ritz crackers.
Yeah.
And you call it Ritzy chicken. And I was like, "Where's all the Ritz?" It was super, like, it was. I was like,
shout out to Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, shout out to speech impediments, John. I don't know what you were talking about. Okay. It was so tasty that I became speech impedimized, John. And now you're trying to equate it to some movie and shout out to some movie. Oh, now you're gonna say, "Oh, Gene Wilder," like, "Oh, maybe see no evil, hear no evil." Like, "Oh, I see you, you do not hear me." Shout out Richard Pryor.
Boyle. What was it? What was his last name? His first name?
What are you talking about?
Who played the monster in Young Frankenstein? Boyle. Richard Boyle.
Oh, it's the dad from. No, it's not Boyle. It's the dad from Everybody Hates Raymond. Everybody Loves Raymond. Everybody's a Raymond. I believe it's
everyone.
John.
All the Raymonds are Raymonds.
Hey, if I were a Raymond, you were a Raymond, we're all Raymond too. Hey, Schlemizel, Schmazel, Raymonds are us incorporated. We're gonna do it.
On your mark, get set. We got another lightning round.
Lightning round. The lightning's calling. From lightning to lightning, and the cost of lightning. I'm trying my best. I'm not figuring it out, but I'm really hoping Lightning Guy comes back next week because he had a big family emergency. And I've been trying to I can't do the voice. And I was like,
well, we had Tally come in for a little bit. That was nice. He kind of he held up for Lightning Guy.
I'm unsure what that means. I don't know. I'm
yeah, I want to get high.
Nope, that's. Is that what he said? When is that what we're doing? Is that where you're going? Is that you're doing that?
No, that's what he came earlier. I was doing a bad impersonation of him.
Oh no,
just a couple minutes ago. Yeah.
I feel like I don't recall that, and so one of us is actually having either a stroke. But I do believe you because the answer is yes. And no, you need. I promise you, it's better to leave your microphone down and cough and have cancer because it makes so much more noise when you do this and then this than if you just cough. Just own it. Just like because if we're not going to get the cancer on film, John, then how are we going to get the GoFundMe to get that cancer money, baby? That sweet cancer money.
So this lightning round is Bizarro Answers. It is our first alternate lightning round ever, and we're bringing it back as one of our first new ones after the year. So wait. Again, I need you to say those words that you just said because I was confused because first ever and never again and before. After, say all of those things. Say it again. The Bizarro Answers is where I ask Pete some questions and he answers.
No, John. I wanted you to say the words you said before. I understand what Bizarro is, but your words to be for him are not of us before, but after, but later because. And I saw you reading it. Read that motherfucker again, John. Read that motherfucker.
It's actually not reading it. Bizarro Answers is the first lightning round that we've ever created as an alternate lightning round, and we are bringing it back shortly after our year anniversary. So it's bringing back the old, in with the old, out with the new. That's what I say.
No, we did it before because we did that. It was the Bizarro. We did it like a month ago. And you blacked it out, and it was our first one, and we did it again. But is the first one we did before, but after we stopped, and then later we're going to do it again, but never again until then. Let's move on.
So are you ready for the questions, Bizarro, my boy Pete?
Bizarro, my boy Pete is lightning round. Come on, come on, come on, let's get down.
I really miss Lightning Guy. I didn't know I ever would.
I know I do too, because I feel like you are lacking, I'm lacking. I feel like all we need is a lightning guy. But let's do it. Let's see if we can power through and then play some messages once we're done. Jesus.
All right, Bizarro.
Swear word.
Bizarro, my boy Pete, what is your favorite U.S. city?
Hemet, California.
I don't need an explanation. That is perfect. Bizarro, my boy Pete, what is your least favorite area of the U.S.?
Sextown.
Is there any more you can say about Sextown and why you don't like it so much?
Oh. Well, I don't like it. Fuck. Nope. Wait. Yeah. No. I can, but I won't. But great weather, nice people, super sexy. How's that? I got confused halfway through.
Third question, Bizarro, my boy Pete. If you could only have one food for the rest of your life, and it was a cereal, what would it be?
Shredded wheat.
Woo!
Not frosted shredded wheat. I want to poop right. John, I don't know if you know anything about John Kellogg. One of the things about good, solid fiber, and it helps you poop. And you know what? And if it has no flavor, it's going to make you want to eat more. Shredded wheat, final answer. Thanks.
And finally, Bizarro, my boy Pete, do you consider yourself a muse, an artist who uses muses?
No. Remember how we already had to establish how we go through these all at once, so I can't be held accountable for a 3 comma semicolon
I
question.
thought Bizarro, my boy Pete might be able to, but yes, I will ask it again.
How about the Bizarro, my boy Pete says, "Fuck you, John. We ain't answering shit unless you do it goddamn right." See, instead of swear word. Go ahead.
In which ways do you resonate with the following statements? You as a muse, you as an artist who uses muses, and you as John, a self-inspired person.
What is the first sentence?
Muse. Are you a muse?
No, John. I'm not a hero. I'm not something that do you understand how I've been responding to you? Are you an idiot? You hear me, right? Like, is that what we should hope our fucking swear word youth become today? John, is that what we hope? No, John, no. It's not funny, it's not ironic, and no, I'm not amused. What's the next question for one sentence? Don't finish the other two.
Are you an artist who uses muses?
I cannot make art unless I am musing. One of the things that I do, and some say that it's okay, not some. I would say a lot of the counties in the state of California, San Bernardino, San Juan King, Los Angeles, they say I can't follow my muses anymore. But how can I make art? So I have a whole thing going to the Supreme Court, and I'm going to still follow my muses around so I can make sure I'm inspired by them, because I can't art unless I'm getting mused up. So I'm all muse all the time, baby. What's the third question, John?
Finally, are you self-inspired?
Oh, see, John, it's a 3-parter, and we got the third one out of you in a heartbeat and a fucking smile. So John, am I self-inspired? No, I can't get out of bed unless I'm thinking about that muse I saw from the bushes outside the muse's window the other night. I said, you know what, muse? No restraining order can stop my love or my art. Not as self-inspired. Hey, John.
I always like when Bizarro Moy P comes around. He's
yeah,
so direct.
I like it when he's so direct, and I just like it when you got to see again editorial. We always realize the first segment once. All of this, we're good, super good, all's good.
And we need to do a shot because we are going into our final segment of the episode.
Yeah, because folks, if you're watching this, if you're a fan of Survivor and you've been watching for 44 seasons, you see where shit starts to go awry, and you see what the causes are and the inspirations are for, like, the cause of and cure to, as John likes to say, and then he'll say Shadow Simpsons. We like to clarify all the things. Like, I know, but you see, once we hit the serious segment, we're too hammered to keep this up as a friendship level. I'm now aggressively upset about John's Careful t-shirt. Because it's crunk time. Crunk time! Woo! Crunk time!
Have you seen him?
Right,
Have you seen him?
What does that mean?
Your shirt.
Oh, my shirt? Yeah. Do you know what that is?
No.
Then I'm glad you asked, John, instead of just pointed it out like a dummy. Dummy profile.
What is that shirt? It's a nice one. I haven't seen it before.
Dude, look at it. Look how big it is. I owned it when I was 300 pounds. Like, I was just kind of clean laundry.
You're doing good.
It's the first movie that Tony Hawk was in. He was a skateboarder. He was like 16 years old, and they were looking for like the Zen master, and they're putting up flyers all around as they're skateboarding. And this was the flyer. It says, "Have you seen him?" And they made a skater shirt. I was like, I don't skate, but I fucking love humor and great movies. So, and someone I know Mindfuck will pop in and tell me what it is. Okay, sorry, go. Are we done? Are we done, John? Are we done now? No, we're not.
No, we got one more. Folks, we got the fun segment.
No, but I mean, are we done with your bitter band? Hey, pitter patter, let's get at her, John.
Let's get at her. Cheers. And let's get to these messages. Cheers.
Thank. Okay.
That was not a lightning strike. I'm
saying, John.
We should trade places so you can hear it on my side.
Girl. This is the thing. I need more backup on my side because John is now. He currently lives in New York. He's currently residing in Michigan. If we can raise enough money during this telethon, our 24-hour telethon. You send your checks to the P.O. Box at twosidedpod@gmail.com at New York. we get enough funds, we'll send his ass West Coast. If we, I was going to make a bad joke. Can't do it too soon. Not too soon. We're going to send his ass across the West Coast. We're going to send him over there for that engineering camp because fuck it, John. They can drive wherever. All right, here's the deal. Y'all come pick me up. I will give you directions to John's house in Brooklyn. And we'll go there. And then we'll do, me and Foxy Lady will do accent camp. You and John will do engineering camp. We'll become a conglomerate, a force to be reckoned with. None shall pass! I don't know, John. I'm just no. I'll hit the button.
Don't worry, I already sent it. The new thunderstorm effect is round effect rather.
See,
is on its way. It's in the inbox of twosidedpod@gmail.com.
That's TWOsidedpod@gmail.com. My man, because that could be a fun thing. Like, you need to play the right one, John. So think about this in the editorial sense. Play the right one, and then play the wrong one, and then we have people or you and I make jokes about what it sounds like, because Mr. V was like, it's like a trash can being kicked down the street. She's like, it's a bong hit in the Matrix. It's like, if we make jokes over and over of like the bad one after we play the good, like, or some point. But yeah, no, we can't just play bad things, John. Mind Fox, if you can find a didgeridoo and a kazoo that sounds better than anything John does in his Care Bear shirts, we'd also play that too. I will play that. At least I'll listen to it in my day-to-day podcast. On my playlist. And when I go to sleep.
I think a little bird just chased my cat back into the yard. Bird, this French kind of size little bird. My cat just ran like his tail was on fire. It was funny. I can answer the least liked place in the United States. It's called somewhere in Iowa.
Iowa's bad. Idaho's also bad. Iowa, is it vowels? Because I said Alabama. You said Iowa. I said Idaho.
Ohio.
John says John hates Ohio. But specifically he hates Yakima, Alaska. It's very strange. Sometimes why?
Watching your facial expressions while Pete, you give your adorably ridiculous answers to this segment is fucking comedy gold.
I'm telling you, girl. Folks, and that's a good time to go ahead and let everyone know that we are currently live on YouTube. If you want to see John's beautiful blushing baby blue face and my irate internal instigating iterations, then you can slam that little header above our screen here on stereo. Look at YouTube Live. We're also YouTube. Our channel is John's little pet project at Two-Sided. We're a podcast. Maybe we're here. John, what is it? All right, and we're also Two-Sided Podcast, TWO Sided Podcast on YouTube. Yeah, we're on YouTube on that. We're also TWO Sided Pod@gmail.com. That's TWO Sided Pod@gmail.com. You can find us on Spotify. We've gone vitriol, and we're very angry, and there's a virus coming. Is that what you say? I didn't write your things down. What do you say?
We thank you kindly.
No, but we're virusy.
Oh, Pete, you are a hero. And I need a hero. And anytime I think to myself, should I say that out loud? I think of you, my boy Pete, and I say it with vigor. You are a hero, a superhero. All right, well, I can't see your T-shirt due to your spectacular lighting.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't know if I've seen him because I can't make out the picture on your T-shirt.
Not you, John.
There you go.
So he is. If you look up the movie, his name's Animal Chan. It's kung fu. It's a whole thing, like super 80s. Skateboarding and kung fu, they go hand in hand. I don't know if you've been here. I don't know if you've played this game. Holy shit. I'm letting you know.
I guess I should have just listened. Disregard the left.
John, before you play more buttons, let me just say, she said a hero, need a hero. Like, the two-sided pod is basically like the town in Footloose, where when we have our really bad days, we go to a warehouse, we dance, fight our way through the scene, we come back, and then we went over the whole town and our girlfriend's dad until he moves on with a better career than all of us who are still alive.
Yep. Hey, let's get through these and let's get to our final segment of the episode.
Yeah, let's have some fun because this has been bullshit up until now. I mean, it's been curse word.
I also despise Ohio. How Buckeyes can kiss my lily white. Swear word.
Swear word. Curse word. Swear word. Curse word. Swear word.
No, John, you're grumpy.
Yeah, look at it.
Sorry to hear this. I hope the shots and copious amounts of alcohol are helping.
No. This is clinical. They can use in a court of law. Like, do you see how a personality changes? Like, Pete has always been an asshole. John is nice and changes as a human. Pete just becomes a little more verbose. Like, he'll put hands on you any time of the day. It could be 6 o'clock during Kellogg's Cornflakes breakfast. Shout out to John Cornlog. Nothing on John Cornlog.
Cornlog. Kellogg.
Yeah, no, I was. Okay, so that's what your response is going to be. I was trying to have a joke, and you're like, John. And this is where John. We talk about in a court of law how alcohol affects people in different ways. Where we try to set him up after calling out what the joke is. He's like, "You mean cornlog?" Anyway, what's our fun segment, John? Let's do that.
Well, glad you asked, my boy Pete, because our fun segment of this episode is Muses. So, while walking through the Chicago Institute of Art, my mom came across a painting entitled "The Sacred Grove, Beloved of the Arts and the Muses." Now, she thought she had a good idea of what a muse is, but wasn't quite sure. So she asked me, "What is a muse?" And I gave her a brief, unrehearsed, unresearched answer. You all are the lucky ones. You ready?
No, John, because I had a question there, and you couldn't stop talking about how you were unrehearsed in your response to listen. So, what was the name of the painting Mom was intrigued by about the muse of the forest? John, don't get all upset. Like, listen. No, remember her talking. No. Listen to the question. Remember, listening is first. You can be upset anytime you like. You can listen and be upset. You can not listen and be upset. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a swear word about that, John. But the rule number one is listening, right? Okay, fair enough. So the question, John, before you retort in a curse word fashion, that's a multiple entendre. It's a curse word multiple entendre. It's a curse word multiple entendre. Well, curse words, see what I'm doing on this curse word multiple entendre? Oh, John! Curse word you. All right. Before you retort, what was the name of the painting that your mom made a comment about that you so eloquently, in a very free-form fashion, without even thinking about things where you could have to not pause and listen to someone else talk, because maybe I'm not gonna be the one who say it, but maybe she had more of a question before you jumped in and answered. I don't know, but what was the painting?
It's called The Sacred Grove, Beloved of the Arts and the Muses. Both arts and muses being capitalized, yeah.
Okay. So John, in your unrehearsed response to your mom, what did you say?
Muse has different meanings from the classic Greek goddesses who created inspiration for artists to what is someone who inspires you or a major influence on your artistic sentiment. Basically that.
Okay, keep going, because I'm trying to look your shit up right now, man. I'm trying to look your swear words up, so keep going. Don't get your swear word panties in a
So let's
ruffle.
talk about, let's look at the classic
let's look at it, because I'm looking at the images.
Of the Muses. Right.
Oh, look at this. You know what, John? It's a bunch of naked people.
It is.
Bumping around with Romans. Oh, there are many pillars and columns. It's most tranquil. Look, the linear columns and fashions. You know how much I like clean lines and clean silhouettes.
I do, my boy Pete.
Okay. All right. Continue. Now that I know and now I have a bearing. You're not like a John Henry Klug, just saying, chew a bunch of times before I swallow this.
The Muses were the Greek goddesses of poetic inspiration, the adored deities of song, dance, and memory, on whose mercy the creativity, wisdom, and insight of all artists and thinkers depended. So they were necessary for all of this. They may have been the originally 3 in number, but according to Hesiod, the prevailing tradition he established, most commonly they are depicted as the 9 daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne. The Muses ruled over inspiration, the memory, music, poetry, the arts, and the sciences.
Are we good now? Are you? Because it's very difficult. Because again, John, you get hammered. I get hammered. I stop writing things down so I don't remember them. All I can go back is to John Henry Klug. Like, I have great comebacks, but you're talking about Muses. Like, okay, so you're talking about like, oh, these are the. It's like flavors. Oh, sweet, sour, savory, umami. Like, come on, man. Like, all right, are you talking on the Muses on a very Shakespearean level of like, oh, yeah, there's the Electra complex and the Oedipus complex because, whoa, mama, I'm gonna kill my father, love my mama. Like, yeah, this is very Greek tragedy. Is that what you're talking about? Muses, the definition of Greek muses, of their pulling in. John, look at me. I understand there are a lot of people in the room, and I understand there's a lot of things happening. I get it, bro. I get it. I'm 100%. That's the hard thing with life in the fast lane, baby. Like, everyone's gonna hear everything all the time. If you don't want it, don't jump in the fire. I'm with you. So are we talking about this? These are the of how this is not a true muse as we think. You're talking the true definition of the Greek muse of like, oh, you like comedy, you like tragedy, you like pornography, you like Full Frontal, you like, I don't know of them all. I don't do the Greek things, but is that what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, in essence, yeah. Yes, we're going to talk about who the Muses are and where that term comes from. So it really comes from this Greek mythology of the goddesses who were most commonly thought to be.
Which is what you said. This is the goddesses. I was trying to clarify what you said. I wasn't trying to make you go on. I was trying to clarify the previous paragraphs you were reading. So you're talking about the goddesses, and the goddesses are like, these were this. I'm like, okay, good. Goddesses.
Where this term and this word comes from are the 9 muses, or originally thought of as the 3 muses, but they were all in all mythologies born in Pieria, which is the foot of Mount Olympus. So they're often called the Olympian or the Pierian muses. However, Mount Helicon in Boeotia was a place that they held dear to their hearts because that's where Hesiod met them and was inspired to write the Theogony. Nope. Yeah, Theogony.
Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep.
It's my dyslexia, man. The words like that are always hard because it scrambles the words in a or the letters in a weird way for me.
Right. So no, definitely. Like, John, look at me now. Look at me. Don't look at the words. This is the time. This is the time we take breaths. We talk. We have fun. Right. Because you reading dyslexic words is not the fun part of the show. It is actively, aggressively unfortunate for all of us. John, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. The 3 muses, otherwise known as the 9 muses. The 9 muses, otherwise known as the 3 muses. All right.
So
that was John. That is like you are actively describing, and I'm going to go ahead and shout out to Detroit because that's like D12. That is like you have Bugs, Proof, Bizarre, Mr. Porter, Conniva, Swift McVeigh, Eminem, and Fuzz Scooter. Those were the full ones, but D12, there were 6 of them at any one time, and they all had multiple personalities of who they were. So Eminem, Slim Shady, so you look at who they were, and so what you're saying is like, here's some. Oh, look at this bitch right here. Oh, she's sweet as a motherfucker. Oh, she's also salty. And she's umami because every muse is 3. John, who's here? Are you looking at a thing? I think you are because I can see too. I can see clearly now that John's attention is gone. All of his ginger concepts are swept away in this whole podcast. Go ahead, John. Tell me about the muses.
And so the original concept of them.
We can go quick. We can go quick and then be out.
Melete, which is study. Mneme, memory, and Iode, song. These were the 3 muses that were recognized early on. But then the theogony.
Memory, song, and what?
Study.
That sounds like growing up in a Japanese household. That's bullshit. Sorry.
That's all right. The theogony is the one that Hesiod tells us where there are 9 muses. And most authors, especially since the Roman times, abide by this account. So the Greek epic poet gives a meaningful name to each of these 9 muses. And so we're going to look at those. Thalia, the cheerful one.
All right. Can we, like, John, here's the thing. Remember how if you're doing Shakespeare, one of the things when you're on stage, like, because nobody in their right mind understands, or has a comprehension of Shakespeare. So when you're actively delivering your lines in your goddamn crumpets and your fucking high heels, you need to take a breath so the audience can digest of like, Crumpia, she's the one of joy and laughter. Perconia, the one of pre-ejaculation. Exfolia of pimple popping. Like, what? Just take a breath so we can all write things down, digest. As a community, as a group, John, let's, like, I'm with you. You have a lot of facts. Bro, I'm with you. I'm with you. And I want the facts, but I need you to take a breath in the facts so I can write things down, so I can actively ask you about them and make sure that we're all on the same page. I'm not here for me. I'm here for the fans. It's mainly for the children. It's for mainly the preeclampsia. Anyone who's having, I think that's the 6th daughter of the Agamemnon troop. She was the one with the false labor pains. But go ahead. Number one, folks. Okay, John. Did we just have the best idea? And I think we, as meaning us, as meaning the redheads among us, John, this is going to be a cage fight. Ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, of the 9 fighters coming to the big stage, the octagon, the muses of the hour, the ladies with all the power, the ones who won't stop until they drop. Here they come, folks. You paid the price. You know the rice dream. Yeah, it's a sushi joke, but no one gets it. All right, first up to the ring, we have number 1.
We'll call her by her modern version of the name, Talia, the cheerful one. This is the muse of comedy.
Talia, the cheerful one. Turns out we're not even staying in the same vein of extraordinary fun. Folks, we've been brought to you by the BBC and the WWF. Here I am, I'm Mean Gene Okerlund's older, uglier nephew's cousin's roommate's friend, my boy Pete. And we also have, on the other side of the intellectual, ordinary, extraordinary, normal warrior that you need to know, the John L. Peacock. He was friends with Sir Richard.
That's correct.
Yes, Talia. Folks, we got Talia. I don't know how to spell that shit.
It's
that
spelled
looks like
Thalia.
an F.
Thalia.
I know, but maybe Hooked on Phonics worked for you and the BBC, but the WWF, we use chairs and we use death matches and we use big cages. John, you're in a lot of trouble. We're all in trouble. Talia, the cheerful. All right. And John, what was she known for?
She was known for comedy, often portrayed by holding a comic mask or the shepherd's hook.
Oh, sounds like a real great chick. Shepherd's hook, comedy mask. Everybody likes to meet her. Shepherd's hook, shepherd's hook. That just looks like a hook. Hook, comedy mask. All right, John, out of the 9, who we got coming to the ring next?
Now, I don't want to speak out of turn because I'm very proper, but my boy Pete, I believe that Talia was someone who is near and dear to your heart. Anyway, next up we have Urania, the heavenly one.
Urania, I'm telling you, if her and Talia got in a fight, like, excuse me, it's like comedy hook. Yeah. Hey, it's great. There's great taglines coming from every angle. Folks, I think that, what was that name? Because my friend didn't hear it. What was that?
Urania.
Urania. All right. Sounds like Urania pissed in the wrong bucket because that first joke was not funny. That's not funny either. That's not funny. All right, folks, if you If you phone in right now to twosidedpod@gmail.com, you too can suggest jokes to pull on the other. All right. Urania. More like Urania.
Oh, there you go. Next, we have my boy Pete.
What was Urania about?
Urania was the heavenly one. She was the muse of astronomy.
Heavenly one. Astronomy. Okay. Okay. Folks, I guess this is the worst pay-per-view we've all ever subscribed to because there's truly a lot of different things going on. I have 17 screens open. 2 people are talking to me. I have a fans only. I'm not wearing pants. It's literally just pokes at my balls. John has a bug in his ear and a song in his heart. And so we're all saying a lot of different things. So all right. Okay. Number 3. All right. Number 3. Who we got?
That's right, my boy Pete. We have Melpomene.
Melpomene. All right, it was like a Meltorme, but the Velvet Fog, but a little bit older. Go ahead. Who we got?
That's she who sings and was the muse of tragedy.
Tragedy. All right. We're 3 in, and it sounds like Melpomene has struck a chord, and we have 6 more to go. Tragedy. Let's move on.
Polyhymnia.
John, number 4, polyhymnia. We popped that long ago. We are fucking far through the polyhymnia.
She of the many hymns was the muse of hymns and sacred poetry.
And I don't want to be out of place, but that curse word won't stop singing or humming a tune.
Next, my boy Pete, we have Arato, the lovely one.
Yeah, but she did curse word to mouth things, and that's why everyone loved her.
After that, we have Calliope, the one with a beautiful voice, the muse of epic poetry.
See, I don't know if I buy that. I feel like the way, in my mind movies of every time I heard Calliope, I was like, no, this is like, it's where you hold up the weird thing to your eye and you twist it around and it makes weird little patterns. Like, that's the Calliope. It's
Right.
like, it turns out it's not.
Yeah.
A kaleidoscope, and it's not, and it's also not a different kind of horse. So Calliope, she's wise in wisdom, great in song, great in poetry, nothing like either of us. Good, continue. That was number 6.
Clio, the celebrator or the proclaimer, was the muse of history.
So not celebrator for what muse of history. It means like, hey, I'm a storyteller. Like, I'm talking shit about the old days. Like, There's no celebrator because we don't celebrate all the old stuff. John, tell me to my goddamn Zoom face right now and this YouTube live podcast that you will celebrate this show after we are done, that you will be a Cleo? No. There's no such thing. Cleo's not here today. No one is celebrating. No.
We don't until we remember the good old days. Then Cleo comes around.
Yeah, Mel Portman. Like, we're very like, whatever. Talia the Cheerful. Yeah, we got that one the first time around. Everybody's having a good time. Go ahead, John.
Next we have
number 8.
Euterpe. She who pleases. She was the muse of flute playing.
Again, I feel like that's very archaic because, first off, no, there should be not any muse that should be for pleasing. Number two, no one was pleased by flute. It's not like it's like a didgeridoo or a flute or a subjugation of a woman who's meant to please. Not enjoyable by anyone. Should not be brought up. Should not be played aggressively in this day and age. Thanks, Utip. All right, and we got our number 9, our last and our best. Don't mean not the best, not the worst, but let's keep them going, John. All right. Here's the final cage match of the 8 beautiful lady muses. Are we ladies? Can we say ladies?
Yes.
Of the late 8 muses, John, my co-host, the cis male, who's also very from the BBC, who doesn't understand fun or anything in the cage match. Last member of the 9 muses is...
Well, thank you, my boy Pete. The last member of the 9 muses is Terp Shakur. The one delighting in the dance, the muse of choral, lyric, and dancing.
Okay, I had a moment. I was like, "What?" They named a Nicolas Cage movie out of one of the muses.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm Terp Shakur, and everybody who knows me knows I do not fuck around. I'm here for the lights and the dances. It sounds very, or like Umbak, the Thai warrior, or like very. What is it, John? What are you looking at? Is there people on YouTube? John, do you want to read our YouTube comments out loud? Do you want to say things out loud on YouTube, John? Because if there's people on YouTube, John, if there's people on YouTube, John, look at me, John. If there's people on YouTube like Lonesome Larry or MFA or anyone who would possibly take your attention like they do a normal day-to-day life where you can't hold a normal fuck you conversation, then
my boy Pete has let me say that MFA is telling us over the YouTube, y'all just made me spit my tea, all caps everywhere. But the fun thing that I wanted to point out is that the different muses, the 9 different muses that we just pointed out. Talia,
point that out to you, John. How about
nice finger? It's a big one. It's a big one.
Talia, go ahead. Talia the cheerful, go on.
Urania,
comedy with the
Melpomene,
polymania, erotica, Cleopatra, Cleo, Voltepria, and Tupac Shakur. Yeah, we got them all.
It brings forward the acronym TUM Peckett, TUM Peckett, which students for many centuries used to remember the names of the goddesses. Tum Peckett means something along the line of the playfully ironic, well, try to forget now.
That's a great playful reference, because I would like you to point to literally, if you can give me 5 students who are like, oh, Tom Peckett. Like, you would talk muses? That's ridiculous. I was in 6th grade, John. No one needs to know about erotica and holy polymania and Mormont and Urania and Talia the Cheerful. That's not something that's taught. And anyone who's that far in life knows nothing about acronyms, or they care. We're having a good time. This is a really, I have never, folks, anyone who's listening on stereo, anyone who's seen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it's always good to have your engineer involved in your show. I mean, it's super good to have them involved in pre-production, in sound, in recording. it's good to have them involved in when we were, the first time we're like, how many people we got? What are we doing? Is there people happening? Like, super good. It's always good to have some sort of a muse, whatever that may be. Unfortunately, if it distracts from the art that is actually going on, it's a muse of a different sort, which is beautiful and needs to be expressed and understood. But I think what we learned from Talia the Cheerful with her shepherd's hook is there's a time and a place for specific muses. They all are important. They all bring something different to the table, and they all should be respected. But sometimes you need to understand when appropriate is appropriate for your muses. Ain't that right, Cleo? Oh, she's not here? Oh, no, wait. Hold on. No, that's mine, Fox. That was Miss Cleo. We had the wrong readout. Like, yeah, boy, do you want to know your future? No, that's... I would take a... Yeah. Anyway, that was really fun, John, and I'm glad you were present for it all. So what's the finish up? What's your follow-up? If you can look remotely interested. Where are we going with this, buddy?
So we've built up the 9, and we're looking at what they've been in pop culture and other culture throughout history. Other than divine inspires in the verse of the poets, the muses rarely appear in myths. And when they do, they're usually much less gentle revelers than diving avengers. So as revelers, they are presided over by Apollo. The muses spent much of their time on Olympus, cheerfully singing and dancing at the feasts of the gods. Sometimes they also came down to earth as to either mourn a funeral, like Achilles, or celebrate a marriage, like Peleus to Thetis, and Cadmus to Harmonia. But much more often, they were depicted as avengers, those who protected their status. The muses were not above punishing anyone who dared to challenge their skill. For example, Thamius, a Thracian bard, was blinded and robbed from his talents when he boasted that he's a better musician than that of the
Polyhermony.
That's right.
Yeah, no, number 4. Like, better musician. She had hymns. You said that the 9 because fucking Talia the Cheerful, she doesn't sing. We've been to karaoke with Talia. Cleo, Erotica, she fucking in the back.
Whereas Demodocus, a Phaeacian bard who appeared in Homer's Odyssey, had his eyes plucked out by the muses as well. But Homer says that as a compensation, he was given the gift of the sweetest song.
You're talking about the muses in Homer's Odyssey, in the Odyssey. That's a different. So we're talking about the clinic. What? Because there's different. John, I shake my fist at the heavens and your muses. Don't look down to the right. Stop looking down to the right. Turn whatever that is over. Turn it over. So help me God. That's it. Anyway, I'll call Jeff. I'll call Jeff. I have his number. I'll faceplace him. Piece of shit. Piece of curse word. Anyway. Nope. Now I got nothing. Go ahead.
Once Hera persuaded the Sirens to challenge the muses, but unsurprisingly, they also lost to them. And the Muses made themselves crowns from the Siren's feathers.
Okay, so what you're talking about is the Muses, because we all understand the Muses in Homer's Odyssey and the Iliad. We understand that Muses are like, oh, come over here. We're half mermaid with our titties out and beautiful hair and shells around, like, woo! Like, lightning round, lightning. That's like, for me, that's the lightning round muse. Mm-hmm. Like, they'll be like, oh, go. Nothing, give me anything. Anyway, but you're saying, oh, the Muses all talk, and there's 9 of them, and they do the thing. So I'm trying to clarify. So we're talking Homer's Odyssey versus when you ask me, like, is there a muse artistically that you have? Do you find yourself a muse? There's 3 different variations of what we're talking about, of what the definition of muse is. You are now talking literature in the Greek mythology of Homer's Odyssey, versus, here's in the Renaissance, versus what I think in my day-to-day drunken life.
Yes.
Oh, John, you know what? I feel like Talia the Cheerful will be like, you know what? You're off the hook. Thanks for sending that in. That was a great joke, because now I can play on it all night long. Oh, look, we got some Lion Foxes in here. We got some Elena. Let's see.
You to make a Hercules joke. Do you not
know that musical? The Muses are like the Ronettes in that show.
Oh no, I definitely knew. Yeah. From zero to hero, and that's a fact, because that is what I feel like. The two-sided pod, that's TW-sided-pod at gmail.com. That's TWO-sided-pod at gmail.com. Has literally in the last year, our first episode was 1 year ago, April 1st. We are now 1 year over, and we have gone from zero to hero. John is now a plethora of knowledge when it comes to the Muses. I feel like it's because I have become a muse to him. I don't know. I'm just one man talking. However, we've grown. I understand that the zero to hero and the Hercules. God damn it. She set me up. She set me up. Hercules, because the Nutty Professor also had a great Hercules reference. Anyway, God damn it.
Everyone set me for cancellation.
So wait, let me get this straight. The Muses refuse to give us our ideas.
If you're
That's
bad,
your job, man. You had one fucking job, bro.
Yeah, but you gotta own up for it. It's like the whole spirit journey. It's like Spirit Quest. It's like, yeah, they'll definitely give you your shit if you're worthy. It's the same thing as going on in Native American Spirit Quest, or if you're becoming a man in Germany, or if you're like, well, even in Midwest out here, like the whole fucking go and make your first kill and drink the blood, or eat the fish guts. I don't know if you did that, John. Like, first time you get, it's that whole thing of like, are you worthy? No, I'm fucking not worthy at all. Fuck you.
Sound like the damn White House, don't it? Motherfucker, give me your idea. That's not yours. You're owned. Get back in line.
I'm just saying, you could vent all of those reactions at whitehouse.com right now. Just go to whitehouse.com, log in, say, yes, I'll accept all cookies, sign up.
You'll be good to go.
That's horrible. That's the best thing ever, because whoever figured that shit out, John, if you can, it's no longer .go. Like, yeah. So let's look out our two-sided pod, our next money-making idea, so we can actually get the money to make that PO box. We're going to look at the 2024 presidential campaign, and like not just the normal ones we all know about, but like the sleepers, like the Papo Gijus and the Pico de Gallos and all the weird, like, and we're going to buy those domains .com And like, yeah, you want to buy them? You sure can for $27,000 and a full interview on our podcast. We're gonna run all your campaign shit because everybody knows that Pablo Zizou supports the two-sided pod. Stupid.
So today we've gone away from the muses being the source of memory, inspiration, and art, and we've redefined a muse as a person who causes someone else to have ideas about creating a work of art, a person who inspires an artist, writer, etc.
Okay. So we're saying in your summation here, you're saying we have accepted this and we think this. So what you're doing is you're telling us what you told us, that it has changed the idea of a muse without telling us that you were going to tell us that the muse term has changed. So you missed the first concept. John, I know you're very good at talkie, the English talkie language. John, but let me give you a little tippy, pointer. When you're talking words and trying to internationally bridge that gap of talkies, number one, you're going to tell them what you tell them. You're going to, no, already messed it up. See, John? Come back on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It'll be a 3-credit class. No, John, tell them what you're going to tell them.
There you go.
Tell them what you told them.
That's right.
In all of these things, I feel like you're missing the step of tell them what you're going to tell them. You always miss that point, and we get halfway and we're like, whoa, what the swear word are we talking about?
You caught it.
I did.
He's getting
that was
better.
A good one.
Evolution of a My Boy Pete, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. It's mainly, I'd like to think of Topak Shikra, Voltrop Cleo, Erotica, Holly Polly, Amnesia, Palmna, Urania, Holly the Cheerful, mainly Holly the Cheerful. Here's to you, all you 9 girls. Hear my swear words.
So other definitions, modern definitions of muse are this one. Really the only band you need in your life. According to one lover of their music will soundtrack and heighten every emotion you've ever experienced, whilst quite literally blowing your mind, reducing you to tears, making your heart burst in sheer rapture, and making you want to bow down and worship at the feet of the 3 virtuosically talented English musicians who created it. Like drugs, only much better. If muse were to be combined into a single breathing entity, it would be likely Chuck Norris with an electric triangle.
Okay. Again, John. You go really hard in the paint, and I caught up. I need you to clarify so I can laugh as funny as you are, as hard as you are. Are you talking about the band Muse?
This, of course, is referring to Muse, an English rock band from Tallingmouth, Devon, formed in 1994.
Okay.
The band consists of Matt Bellamy, Chris Wadhamsholm, and Dominic Howard.
So that is what you're laughing at, because you weren't talking, because the joke first was because you didn't, again, tell us what you're going to tell us. I was thinking it's like, oh, One Direction. And you were shitting your pants laughing. You're like, no, the joke's coming. Like, One Direction. And now you're like, yeah, of course it's fucking Muse. Of course, it's no D12, but all right, go ahead.
And finally, another modern definition of muse is when someone takes someone famous from real life and role plays and acts like them in their own way. This is another term for muse these days. We see this in The President Show, etc.
No. The President's Show is, you can't say a genre that comes on for copied on Toon TV. That's not a reference of I am my own muse. You can't play a character. That was not a character. So give me another reference, because no, you don't get to say that. A muse to play a character. So Ollie G is a muse. Barat is a muse. Is that what you're saying? We're now redefining what a character, what a caricature, what a
it's specifically when you emulate someone who is real. And so Barat, it would not necessarily be a muse.
Okay, so
right.
So Key and Peele, when he represents Obama, that's a muse.
Yeah, that would be. Yep, a lot of SNL sketches are based around muse versions of real life. And when those actors, like many of them have taken it a step further and made that a part of their being, the part of their essence. Like the President Show, where he emulated our ex-president over and over again, but it was always in a specific way. And so that would be a muse.
Different. Like, I get you, because it's like, okay, are you doing a character? So like, oh, are you Jim Belushi and you're doing like the samurai therapist? Okay, again, that's my muse.
Not real. So
are you kidding me? So no. Because you're now talking about like impressions. Because like you're telling me there's not a samurai who is a therapist. So that's you, a judgment, and I don't like that. We won't accept that, because it's a two-sided pod. We don't accept judgments. But if you're saying to me that John Belushi did Emperor Hirohito, like, oh, that's a muse now. Emperor Hirohito Emperor Hirohito, as he practiced his sword and counseled his family on their love lives, because that's a real person in a real situation that probably really happened, and you don't know. So that's not an impression. That is to you a muse. So where is like that? My question is, okay, you want to see my muse of I can't stand all these motherfuckers. Ain't that something?
No, it's not quite the same, because what I'm saying is this is specifically when real famous people, that was one of the depictions of it, when you were emulating
Al Pacino's not famous. Right, Al Pacino's not famous.
Hua is a fictional character that Al Pacino did in Sense of a Woman.
Based on a real character that was based on a real play.
Right, and you did it
inspired by, just like when I watched Care Bears the movie and I wrote Saving Private Ryan. Inspired by, not based on.
The difference is it's emulating a real person over and over again as part of what you do. You become known for that. SNL actors who play characters one-offs, they're not it. But like Will Ferrell, who went on to do a play and to do several things as George W. Bush over and over again beyond SNL, I could say he was going into the world of muse, where most of the actors who play in SNL and do real life people, especially like political famous people, they are not quite it. But if you go that step further and you get known for it, and it's something that's just part of your public persona, that's the muse that I'm talking about.
Oh man, fuck all that.
Let's have a shot.
I'm definitely, but I'm telling you, I'm going to finish up. Like, yeah, the thing is, if you get to do the good impression all the time, the impressions that I start to do that you like to finish up and like shout out to the references he's making. Like, so are those everything I reference that you are calling me out on? Is that my muse? No, I'm making a good impression. So Gandhi, fucking swear word and what's his face? Ben Kingsley. So is Gandhi his muse? Amazing.
No, because it's a
one-off. No, but oh really? One-off. How many years did he spend making that? Do you think it was more than one? Look at his god swear word and frame, John.
Yes, he lost some weight for it. So did Tom Hanks do it for Survivor. That was not about any real person. That doesn't mean he's a muse because he spends more time on a one-off.
John, Survivor was Jeff Probst, and he is my muse, and do not screw with that. You're talking about Castaway.
Castaway.
Yeah, that's but right. No. When you bring Jeff Probst in Survivor into my hood, you come to my table, you try to pour a shot in my drink town? Oh no, we live on coconuts and a handful of rice around here. Oh, if you can find a crab, find a crab. But now you have to be able to eat it. John, let's do a shot and think about Jeff Probst as my muse, because that's the only time I've tried to think about what I can do with my life that I can get on to a show with Jeff Probst. Here we go. Cheers. Come on, drink.
Come on, drink. Don't be pussy.
Your muses.
Well, I made the comment to somebody the other night. Last night, as a matter of fact, we were in stereo with a good friend, Inspirato Projecto. And I made the comment, yeah, I should Google this. And he was like, I don't know, maybe DuckDuckGo or Brave Browser. And he starts naming, I'm like, it's like Q-tips, bro. Everybody buys Q-tips, but nobody actually buys Q-tips. You know what I mean? We go to the store to get Kleenex, but we don't half the time buy Kleenex. It's brilliant marketing. Google it as slang for look that shit up. I mean, if you're on DuckDuckGo, startpage.org is a great one. It's probably top of my list. But I mean, we're not actually Googling it. Relax.
Right. There's another thing. It's like all of my search engines start with fartsandwich.otm.
That's why I Yahoo it. Yahoo.
Easy there, Jeeves. We have a fucking fast. Oh, curse word. Sorry. Curse word. Damn it.
Damn it. Good.
I've never even heard of Muse. I was on my seat and like, I know he's talking about Spinal Tap. It has to be Spinal Tap.
No way.
Sorry, y'all.
Bro. I promise you, I don't know what kind of music you like, but I don't care what kind of music you like. There will be two songs. There will be at least two songs that will be like, you will not be able to stop listening. Like, yeah. I'm not a big metal fan, but it's kind of metal, but it's kind of punk, but it's kind of progressive, but it's kind of like indie. It's very like, oh, okay. I'm like, every time I put it on, I hear it, I put on some eye makeup and a tight black sweatshirt, and it's like, let's rock and roll, baby.
So Elvis impersonators would be considered a muse? I am so seriously lost in this conversation.
Exactly.
But it is entertaining.
No, it's not. It's literally not. It's literally John was like,
yes,
yeah, that's exactly.
That would be.
No.
Yep.
Right. So.
Because they make their public persona career around that real life famous person. That's what I'm saying, as opposed to one-offs that you kept on trying to throw out.
Okay. No. Okay, no. I hear you. It's one performance that is amazing, that is genre bending, versus someone who does something that is out in the world forever. So what you're saying is, we go to Hollywood Boulevard, and the guy who dresses up as Spider-Man today and we see him dressed up as Snake Eyes tomorrow, and the Hulk the next day, and but every time he comes up as a hero and trying with his fanny pack trying to get $5 for a picture with kids, that character he's dressed as is his muse because he's getting paid because we know it.
No, it's not fictional characters. It's real life people.
Okay, no. Okay, John, hear me out. Yep. Okay, so let's take it again. Let's go to Hollywood Boulevard, right in front of the theater there. Right. So Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley.
Yep.
So all of the 6 Elvises.
Yep.
And then the next day, the next day they're dressed as Buddy Holly.
Yep.
And the next day, because okay, this is awesome. John, hear me out before you get defensive. Hear me out.
Yep.
Right? What you're saying is if enough people do it, it becomes a different thing.
One person has to do it and become famous for it. That's what it is. It's a new form of the term use.
No, right. No, but hear me out.
Okay.
Not one person. You're saying a specific person has to live that life.
Yep.
And then everybody else gets to emulate that person, and that makes it different than impersonation.
Or use that persona as a satirical look at what's happening.
I just wish you would listen and answer questions. Just a yes or no of things instead of trying to be your fucking legalistic goddamn ginger self.
Yes.
So if more people do it of a real person, it becomes a different thing.
Yes.
Okay. Is that something we should be supporting? Is that something? No? Then why are you?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You just latched onto it. I was just looking at other modern definitions of muse.
Okay. I feel like this is the point where we now take this to the green room because John is now looking very vaguely and not. After the second time I said, just listen and answer the questions. Like, no, it's fine. Folks, we're going to take this to the green room because, you know what? I know a lot of shit people in this world. And if it just takes 10, 15, 20 people to dress up as them and emulate them, and it makes them a different thing than what they are, I don't think that's okay. And that was a question I was asking that John didn't want to answer. So, folks, you can find us on all of our podcasts, all of our YouTubes, all of our fucking hatred that we stand in awe of.
So let's finish this up. We got a couple more messages, and then we're gonna wrap this up and head on out to the green room.
And we have company tonight,
John. Look what you've done.
Yahoo, motherfucker. Elvis would be the muse, wouldn't he? To all the Elvis impersonators? I think it would be Elvis is the muse.
Elvis would be.
For $500, Alex.
Elvis would be, but what about Jim Jones? So if we turn Jim Jones from a serial killer into people who dress up as him, does he become a muse? So why are you saying those are things? That was my question. So just because if people dress up as him, it should make him from a thing that he is into a muse? That's bullshit.
No, it's actually this term is actually taking it back from those people, and the people who are emulating or satirically impersonating them as their livelihood, they are the muses, and that's the difference. That's the shift.
I feel like this is a very slippery slope, John. I watched Clerks 2 when he says, like, I'm taking this back. I put it on the back of my shirt, and it's like, I'm not going to say it. He's like, no, that terminology. No, my grandma said it all the time. All other people, like, pork for life.
Pork for life.
No, John, you don't get to say I'm taking it back. When it's bad, it's bad. You know what? Nazi meant like a very specific supportive family member who liked sauerkraut and schnitzel. No, you don't get to say we're taking it back. No, you don't. As a cis male, I think you know that. MFA, I adore you. I feel like she's saying she's done with her shit. Love you. Love you, girl. Yeah. No, love you. She's great. No. See, it's again, impersonator. Because every time I'm like, no, it's not the real one. It's an impersonator. They don't say it's his muse. Like I saw The Bone Collector. I was pretty impressed by it, and I'm pretty sure it was copycat impersonation. I'd like you to take a fucking breath because I would like to credit my sources, John. If you just give me a goddamn second. Wow. My sources include Anger 101 from tonight. I would also like to thank Sailor Jerry and all of the things he brought to the table. I would also like to thank Fox News, Joe Rogan, in addition to BBC, but not the parrot sketch. I'm just, we're so, but unfortunately, I feel like we're now falling into a trap, John. Like actively, we said it every single time. We're not good at drinking and yelling at each other because you're like, I don't listen. It's like, I get very angry because I listen to everything. Like, careful. Crunk bears. Gonna drink some stuff. God damn it. And you're like, why are you mad? And and that is what I would like to take back. Right, and that is what the folks here with the two-sided pod. We have enough to make Talia not so cheerful. So don't be afraid to tune in to the green room or next week. And I'm my boy Pete in the dirty, dirty place where I am residing in my mental state. Love you, John, man. Like, as in a court of law, everyone has to hear, I love you, John. Look at my hands. Look at my hands. We're all safe. Cheers, man. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Oh, no. Oh, hell no. No. Oh, no. check that email. Get that lightning sound from Mindfox. Shout out Mindfox. Thanks, brother. Ooh, making us better all the time.